So I guess I just wanted to discuss one of my pet peeves when it comes to politics, and that is a tendency on the left of tending to overly idealize Europe. I think the American left is smitten with Europhilia, and similarly, the American right is smitten with Europhobia. Um, and it's true that many European countries have a lot of policies that are more progressive than the U.S. The main thing is on healthcare in the U.S. I think we ought to pat ourselves on the back for making big progress on that area in this year. But unfortunately, I think a lot of American liberals tend to look at Europe and think that okay, they're so much more progressive and enlightened than us, then therefore we should copy them in all sorts of other respects. Um, and the fact is, there are a lot of things about Europe that I would prefer that we not adopt. And one proposal that I see floating around in a lot of circles that I would really like us not to copy them on is the value added tax. Um, the I mean, value added tax is basically a kind of sales tax or consumption tax that where basically they tax you at every level of value added in this sort of value chain. First you mine the resources, that's taxed. Yeah, you know, you create some product and make it at a wholesale place. You tax that. You sell it to retailers. They sell at retail prices. They tax that. So there's taxes added along the value chain, and yeah, the idea is basically that it's harder to avoid tax, but that's not really true either. There are ways of getting around that tax. Oh, I won't go into that, but basically, um, it seems that the tax value added is entirely antithetical to what a tax should do. Um, what we need to tax is value taken from society. Um, we ought to tax the value taken from nature by mining that resource, by taxing it at the level of mineral extraction or logging or what have you. Realize that it's a cost to the environment that needs to be taxed, but then don't tax the value added by labor, because that's productivity and that's what we want to encourage. And so that's why I'm all about taxing rent. And I talk about a lot about land value taxation. Land value taxation is the big key feature that will help pay for the basic policy for most of government expenses. But it's bigger than that. It's also taxing what we take from nature. Taxing logging and fishing and mining and things like that, based on the cost to the commons. What sort of natural services those things provide by not being exploited, and then by taxing that but not taxing value added, then you have an incentive to recycle and use resources more efficiently. And so, it seems to me like the whole value added tax is entirely the wrong idea when it comes to taxation. It is getting it exactly backwards. Um, and furthermore, there's a reason why I'm against regressive taxes in general. I've explained before how through land values, uh, the wealthy basically get back whatever they paid even at very progressive tax rates, um, and that's at best. you know, when you have regressive tax rates, you're actually funneling money from the poor to the rich, because yeah, and the European countries that the left idealizes, yeah, they compensate them for that made by having big cradle to grave welfare states. Um, and I think that's the part that the left idealizes, and this I think, well, the things they spend their money on is goods, therefore we ought to copy their tax structure. When in fact, in a sense, what a lot of these European countries have done is they've reached this compromise where, like, the right controls taxes and the left controls spending. Um, and I think that neither of those sets of policies is necessarily desirable. What we ought to do is have a tax policy that gives the distribution right to begin with, so we don't need all these redistributive policies of welfare redistribution. Um, so that we actually tax the exploitation of these rents by the elite, so that we have a more level playing field to begin with. And so I guess I'll leave it at that for now. Peace.